Stalker 2 just got a massive developer deep dive video, and I have to say, it looks incredible. We've been waiting for Stalker 2 for quite a while now, and each time the open world shooter has been shown off, it has looked really promising. It's always been clear that the game is going to be massive, but now the developers have confirmed that the game will include a total of 20 different regions, each of them bringing their own architecture, environments, anomalies, residents, and more. A lot of locations that the players will find here have been built on accurate representation on real-world counterparts, with several familiar locations from the original Stalker trilogy returning as well. So for instance, certain areas that were unavailable in previous titles are going to be opened up and explorable in Stalker 2. Something that the developers have emphasized is just how heavily the game will push player choices, which is something that the studio have spoken about before as well. And based on what was shown, it looks like it's going to incorporate almost immersive sim-like elements, with players having the complete freedom to go almost anywhere they want to in the open world, do whatever they wish to do, and go about their action in a variety of different ways. So it's clear that Stalker 2 is going to be a sort of game that players will be able to lose themselves in for hours without even touching the main story. But the main story is obviously going to be a key part of the experience as well, including multiple endings as well as encountering different characters, unlocking different quests. In a nutshell, a single playthrough isn't going to be enough to see everything that the game has to offer. In Stalker 2, anomalies are one of the principal dangers that the players will have to be aware of at virtually all times. And one of the areas that was shown in the gameplay was the swamps that introduced one of the burner anomalies that players can discover by throwing bolts so they can be avoided. Now there are some anomalies that can be beneficial, like allowing players to avoid fall damage from high places, but mostly they will be presented as one of the dangers. Other than anomalies, there are plenty of different enemy types you will encounter that include pseudo dogs, zombies who will keep coming back to life unless you kill them with a bullet to the head. Now there are 35 weapons in total, with customization thanks to different upgrades and attachments that will affect their feel and use. There's no leveling system in Stalker 2 either. Instead, your progression is reflected in the ever-increasing knowledge you obtain of each region and the danger surrounding them, which is something we saw in Metro Exodus as well, and honestly it provides an experience that will feel different from the traditional games. Aside from dealing with enemies and anomalies, you'll also need food and sleep. If you leave these needs unattended for too long, they'll become issues that will affect your efficiency. Like weight, for example, is still an important part of the experience. Becoming overburdened will get in the way of dynamic movement, forcing you to prioritize cargo on the go and not get too attached to what's in your backpack. The developers also talked about the revamped AI system that is in place, makes it so that the enemies don't receive hints about your whereabouts at random. It does seem like an interesting mechanic, but I want to see more when the full game releases. So that covers most of the things I found really interesting in the deep dive, and personally I think the game looks really cool and ambitious, and I cannot wait to play it when it launches on November 20th on Xbox Series X and PC exclusive, with the PlayStation release coming at a later date. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe, and until next time, happy gaming.